Have you ever wondered how much your mind influences your daily interactions? It's a fascinating question, isn't it? We often go through our days unaware of the profound impact our minds have on our actions, reactions, and connections. Today, we're diving into the intriguing world of psychological tricks. These are not sinister manipulations, but rather, they are insightful tools that can help us understand and navigate human interactions better. Imagine being able to understand why people act the way they do, or knowing how to respond to different situations more effectively. These psychological tricks are rooted in decades of research, drawing from the rich fields of psychology, sociology, and neuroscience. They offer us a glimpse into the complexities of the human mind, revealing its power and potential. Remember, this journey is not about controlling others, but about enhancing our understanding of human behavior and improving our interactions. So, are you ready to unlock the secrets of the human mind? Let's start with a simple one: the power of names. Names, they're more than just tags or labels that differentiate one person from another. They're a fundamental part of our identity. When you remember someone's name and use it in conversation, it's like you're acknowledging their individuality, their uniqueness. It makes them feel valued, seen, and connected to you in a way that few other things can. Think about it. When someone uses your name, doesn't it make you feel a bit special, a bit more engaged in the conversation? That's the power of names at work. Now, this might seem like a small thing, but the impact can be substantial. It can help build rapport, foster trust, and even influence the course of your interactions. So the next time you meet someone, make a point to remember their name. It could make a big difference. Scene script. Have you ever noticed how you tend to like people who are similar to you? That's the mirror effect. This psychological phenomenon is a fascinating one, and it's all about establishing and building rapport. When we mirror someone's body language, we subconsciously communicate that we're on the same wavelength. It's like a nonverbal handshake, a silent agreement that says, "I see you, I understand you." Imagine you're engaged in a conversation. The person in front of you is leaning in, their hands animated as they speak. If you lean in too, use your hands similarly. Your interaction becomes a dance, a silent dialogue that fosters a sense of connection. This mirroring can be as subtle as adopting a similar posture or matching the tone of voice. But a word of caution: overdoing it can make it seem like you're mimicking, which can be off-putting. The art of the mirror effect lies in its subtlety. Remember, subtlety is key here. You're building rapport, not mimicking. Sometimes saying nothing at all can say the most. That's the power of silence. Just as a painter uses negative space to emphasize the subject, silence can underscore the importance of words spoken. It's a subtle yet potent tool in negotiation and conversation. Imagine you're at a business meeting or a friendly chat and you've just made a point. Instead of rushing to fill the pause that follows, embrace it. Let the silence linger. This can prompt the other person to fill the gap, often revealing more information than they intended or conceding points to break the tension. Silence can also convey confidence, showing that you're comfortable enough to let your words stand on their own without the need for constant reinforcement. It's a sign of strength, not weakness. So remember, silence isn't just the absence of noise, it's a powerful statement in itself. So, the next time you're in a conversation, don't be afraid of a little silence. Ever found yourself agreeing to a larger request after agreeing to a small one? That's the foot in the door technique. This psychological trick is a compliance tactic that plays on our natural human tendency to stay consistent. The foot in the door technique starts with a small, seemingly innocent request. This could be as simple as asking a friend to lend you a pen. Once they have complied with this small request, they are more likely to agree to a larger one, perhaps lending you a book. The initial agreement creates a bond, an unspoken contract of sorts that primes them for the next, more significant request. This technique works because it's easier to continue a behavior than to start a new one. That's why the foot in the door technique is so effective. It's not about manipulation, but about building a pattern of compliance. Remember, this technique is about building compliance, not manipulation. A simple touch can have a powerful impact, but how? Let's delve into the fascinating world of human psychology to understand this. Picture this: You're in a friendly conversation with someone. They lightly tap your shoulder as they laugh at your joke, or gently touch your arm as they share a story. This subtle, non-threatening touch can dramatically increase feelings of goodwill and compliance. It's a psychological phenomenon that helps build trust and rapport. Research has shown that a kind, appropriate touch can convey empathy, reassurance, and connection. It can lower stress levels, increase feelings of security, and even make us more likely to agree with a request or see things from another's perspective. However, it's crucial to remember that context and consent are paramount. A touch can be powerful, but it should always be appropriate and welcome. So, the next time you're in a friendly conversation, remember the power of touch. Of course, always ensure any touch is appropriate and welcome. Ever found yourself agreeing to a smaller request after refusing a larger one? That's the door in the face technique. Let's delve into this fascinating compliance method, shall we? Imagine this. A friend asks you to help them move their entire house this weekend. You decline. It's too big of a task. Then they ask if you could just help move a couch. Suddenly, that doesn't seem so bad, and you agree. This is the door in the face technique in action. It starts with a large, often unreasonable request that you are likely to refuse. Then a smaller, more reasonable request is made, which you are more likely to accept. This happens because of a psychological principle called reciprocity. You feel a need to return a favor when someone does something for you. In this case, the favor is the reduction in the size of the request. Just like the foot in the door technique, this is about building compliance, not manipulation. Did you know that asking someone for a favor can actually make them like you more? That's the Benjamin Franklin effect. This psychological trick is named after the famous American statesman who discovered this phenomenon. Franklin noticed that if he asked a rival for a favor, such as borrowing a book, the rival's attitude towards him softened. The underlying concept is quite intriguing. When we do someone a favor, our brain rationalizes that we must like this person because we're going out of our way to help them. It's a way of resolving cognitive dissonance, the mental discomfort we experience when our actions and beliefs don't align. In essence, the Benjamin Franklin effect can be a powerful tool in building and strengthening relationships. It's not about manipulation, but about fostering mutual respect and understanding. So don't be afraid to ask for a small favor. It might just strengthen your relationship. Our expectations can often shape our reality. But how does this work? Well, let's dive in. Expectations, be they positive or negative, can have a profound influence on our perceptions and behaviors. When we expect something to happen, our brains subconsciously prepare us for that event. This is known as the expectation effect. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you expect to do well in an exam, you're likely to study more, work harder, and ultimately perform better. But it's not just about personal expectations. The expectations others have of us can also shape our behavior. This is often seen in educational settings where the expectations of teachers can significantly influence student performance. So, how can we use this to our advantage? By setting positive expectations for ourselves and others, we can foster success. However, it's crucial to ensure these expectations are realistic and attainable, to prevent disappointment or undue pressure. Remember, your mind is a powerful tool. Use it wisely. We've covered a lot of ground today, from the power of names to the influence of expectations. Let's take a quick trip down memory lane, shall we? We started with the amazing power of the mind, the fundamental basis for all the tricks we've discussed. We then moved on to the potency of names, demonstrating how the simple act of remembering someone's name can create a strong bond. We delved into the mirror effect, showing how mimicking someone's body language can foster connection and understanding. We highlighted the power of silence and how it can be a strong tool for negotiation. We learned about the foot in the door and door in the face techniques, both persuasive strategies that can be employed in various situations. We explored the power of touch and how it can foster a sense of trust and intimacy. We unveiled the Benjamin Franklin effect, a curious phenomenon where doing someone a favor can lead to liking them more. And finally, we examined the power of expectations and how they can dramatically shape our experiences and interactions. So, the next time you interact with someone, remember these tricks. They might just change the way you see the world.